Have you ever found yourself stuck in a loop of self-doubt? That voice inside your head constantly telling you you're not enough, that you'll never make it, or that you're just not good enough? I get it. We've all been there. That inner critic can be loud, persistent, and feel impossible to ignore. But here's the thing. You don't have to listen. Today, I want to share with you how to silence that inner critic for good and step into your power with self-love and unwavering confidence. The voice of self-doubt. I remember a time in my life when I let my inner critic completely control me. It was during a big career transition, and I was feeling lost, overwhelmed, and afraid. Every step I took, I second-guessed. You're not qualified enough. People are going to laugh at you. And the worst one, you're not cut out for this. I let that voice dictate my every move. It paralyzed me with fear and stopped me from taking any meaningful action. But over time, I learned something incredibly important. That voice? It's not me. It's just a collection of old stories, insecurities, and fears, none of which are based in truth. I realized that to move forward, I needed to stop listening to that voice and start listening to the one that says, "You are enough, you are worthy, and you are capable of so much more than you think." Why we listen to the inner critic. So why do we even listen to that voice in the first place? It's not like we want to hold ourselves back, right? Well, the truth is, the inner critic is born out of fear and self-preservation. It tries to keep us safe, even if that means playing small. It tells us not to take risks, not to put ourselves out there, because it's trying to protect us from potential failure. But here's the catch. Living a life based on that fear isn't really living at all. It's playing it safe to avoid discomfort, but in doing so, we miss out on the beautiful things that lie just beyond the discomfort. The real growth, the real joy, the real fulfillment is waiting on the other side of that voice. And every time you let it stop you, you're choosing to stay stuck in a place of self-limitation. How to quiet your inner critic. 5 powerful steps. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how do I silence that voice? How do I stop letting it control my life? Well, here's the good news. You have the power to change the narrative. You don't have to let that voice define you, and I'm going to show you how. Step 1. Identify the source of the criticism. The first step in silencing your inner critic is to recognize where it's coming from. Take a moment to reflect. What are the roots of these negative thoughts? Often, our inner critic is built from past experiences, childhood beliefs, or comparisons to others. It's time to take those thoughts apart and ask yourself, are they even true? Most of the time, they aren't. They're just limiting beliefs holding you back. Second step 2. Challenge the negative thoughts. Once you've identified those negative thoughts, it's time to challenge them. When you hear the voice saying, "You can't do this," respond with something like, "I can handle this," or "I am capable of learning and growing." You don't have to agree with your inner critic. In fact, you can challenge it head on. Over time, these new affirmations will start to drown out the old, unhelpful narratives. Step 3. Practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is one of the most powerful tools in silencing your inner critic. When you make a mistake or fall short of your goals, treat yourself with the same kindness you would a close friend. The inner critic loves to beat us up when we're down, but we don't have to entertain that. Instead, choose to be gentle with yourself. Recognize that failure is part of the process, not a reflection of your worth. Step 4. Reframe your self-talk. Instead of seeing your flaws as failures, start seeing them as opportunities for growth. Every mistake is a lesson. Every misstep is a chance to learn and improve. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," reframe it to, "I'm a work in progress and that's okay." When you begin to reframe your self-talk, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as stepping stones to your personal growth. Step 5. Take bold action, despite the critic. The best way to silence your inner critic is by taking action. The longer you wait, the louder that voice gets. But when you move forward, even in the face of fear, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the doubts that try to hold you back. Start with small steps, whether it's sending that email, making that phone call, or pursuing that dream you've been putting off. Every step you take builds your confidence and weakens the power of that inner critic. Empowerment. Taking control of your narrative. Remember this: you are not your inner critic. That voice is just a story you've been telling yourself for far too long. You have the power to rewrite that story, to change the narrative from one of fear and self-doubt to one of strength, possibility, and unwavering self-belief. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking imperfect action and embracing the journey of growth. You deserve to live a life full of confidence, love, and authenticity. And that starts with silencing the critic and stepping into your true power. Because when you trust yourself and take bold action, you'll realize just how much you're capable of achieving. I want you to take a moment and reflect. What is one thing that your inner critic has been holding you back from doing? Share it in the comments below, and let's support each other as we take steps towards silencing those negative voices. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more empowering content like this. Remember, the voice inside your head is not the truth. You are the truth. Let's keep growing, keep learning, and keep silencing that inner critic together.